Hello, welcome to another episode of Constitutionalist Podcast. I am your host, Joseph M. Leonard. That's L-E-N-A-R-D. It looks French. It's not. It's Leonard without an O. Thank you for tuning in. As Graham Norton used to say on his show, let's get on with the show! Hello, everybody. I just wanted to let you know this brief intro. I'm going to double up 2 a week for the rest of January to get caught up on a few interviews I've recorded lately. They're kind of piling up. They're going a little too far in the future. I don't want to keep people waiting that long. So for the rest of January, I'll do 2 during the week rather than 1 midweek drop on Wednesday. So Tuesday and Thursday, the rest of January. Anyway, let's get some guests on, as Graham Norton currently says, and I'm borrowing. Joining me today is Steve Rotermund, and when I reached out to him, I said to him, wow, all I needed to see was devoted father of 7. That was enough for me. Gotta have this guy. I have a sister. My mother was an only child. My father was one of 3 kids. So further back, in the woodpile, bigger families. At one time on the Sylvania Italian side, there was 12 siblings. So, but that ain't the norm these days. So, but before we get into that, let's do let's back this garbage truck up, right? Beep, beep. The usual where were you born and raised? Where are you now? Some significant places you may have been between, that sort of stuff.
Hey, first of all, thanks for having me on the show, and you're always an interesting person. I started listening to the podcast, and now I'm actually hooked. So thanks for having me on. Just love your charisma and your personality. But I was born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri. And
the state of misery. I mean, yes. Missouri. Right? Yeah. You never passed the lame pun. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was born and raised there most of my life. When I was in my late 20s, I ended up moving to Columbus, Ohio. Business took me that way, so still stayed in the Midwest. And then
not far from me up in Detroit. Yeah. Been to Columbus a few times. Anyway, I interrupted again.
No. And a bunch of life happened in Columbus, Ohio. Walked through the pits of hell, and then I'm now currently living a peaceful life in Corpus Christi, Texas. So I am a beach nut, always been a beach nut. And, I always wanted to be in the beach. I thought it would be Florida, but God sent me to Corpus Christi. So here we are today.
Are you a surfer? Surf's up, dude? Are you?
Do I look like a surfer?
For those viewing behind the scenes video versus audio only or reading in the transcript, no, he doesn't look like the atypical, like from Point Break movie surfer dude. He, like me, has got the hairdo or lack thereof up top going on there. Mine came out due to cancer, and I'm saving a ton on shampoo and conditioner. I bet you are too, right?
Oh, I love it. It's so easy to maintain. Didn't know why I didn't shave it sooner, but no, I love the beach. I just love the ocean. It's just a place where I'm at peace, and quite honestly, I'm getting older. I can't do cold anymore. I just can't do it. So
yeah. I'm born and raised in the Detroit area, and while I hate the cold, especially now I'm on disability with a myriad of health issues, I don't do well in the cold. But born and raised here, family, friends, everything. I choose to stay. I prefer living in Vegas, though. People don't understand that desert gets really cold at night too.
Yes.
So yeah, the lame pun thing, right? Yeah. Life's a beach, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It is.
It can either be a beach or a bitch, right? I can understand wanting to choose the beach instead, but anyway, yeah, 7 kids. Let's just jump right in on that.
Sure. And I'll start off by saying I am a blended family. But I've always wanted a big family. My dream was always to have
So not all are biologically yours. By
no.
blended, you mean? Yes.
So yeah. So I had 2 boys, and then I had a third boy when I was 40 years old. And I went through, like I said, I went through some issues. If you want to talk about those, ended up getting a divorce. My ex-wife was an addict, and I had codependency, so it was just 13 years of just chaos there. But when I got healed and started dating again, and I wanted to find somebody that loved kids as well. And Sarah, my wife now, she had 2 boys and a girl. So when our kids all were just getting along wonderfully when we were dating, it was like it was just meant to be. And we just had laughter. Kids were like best friends when we went on vacation.
That
Everything was,
reminds me of the
yep.
movie with Sandler and Drew Barrymore blended, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. And just the way my OCD brain works, you mentioned your wife's name now is Sarah. So now the rest of the day, I'm going to have Hall & Oates, Sarah, smile, smile with me, Sarah, in my head.
It's funny. I play that for her all the time. So, but we couldn't go around having the Brady Bunch. I'm dating myself. Couldn't go around having the Brady Bunch jokes. So we wanted a child together. So we had one child together. 7's a perfect number. Now people can't say, "Oh, well, you're the Brady Bunch." No, because now we have 7 kids,
Well,
not 6.
7
So
sometimes, speaking of Vegas, 7 isn't always a good number, right? But
yeah.
yeah, that's a whole other show.
Well, sometimes with kids it isn't either, but here we are.
Yeah, I think back again in the family on mom's side, 12 kids, and it used to be then, the houses structurally were fairly big, but the rooms inside were generally
Yeah.
small, and 2 bathrooms at most with 12 kids. It's like, oh my God, talk about trying to herd cats when you're trying to get everybody ready to go somewhere. Yes.
Yes. Sometimes 2 cars to go places. You know,
You need
building,
your own bus. The heck with the minivan. You need literally a bus.
building rooms in the basement and then saying the heck with this and just putting up blankets and cornering it off.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of being dated, right? Partridge Family, right? You need a
Right.
Partridge Family bus. You need a Rotermund bus.
Yes. And when we went on vacation, we'd rent the van. We were one of those people that had the church van on vacation. And, but you know what? It was a great part of my life. It was great. Now, my youngest now is 7. He still lives at home. And then my 15-year-old lives at home. 17-year-old lives at home. And my 20-year-old daughter's getting ready to move out, in fact, this weekend. So, we're slowly getting rid of them. But,
You mean that in a loving, compassionate fashion, right?
Yeah. That, but Sundays are our big thing. Sundays are our family day. Sundays are meal days. And, the hope is the kids stay around here and end up wanting to just have grandkids here. And every weekend is just nothing but just family time.
You want the emptiness in one way, and on the other way, you want to keep them. You want them to find their own way in life, but not lose touch and root in the family.
Right.
And so the obvious question is the dichotomy of the age range you're dealing with. I gotta ask about that.
Yeah. So my oldest is 28. And then my second oldest is 26. Or yeah, 26. And then her oldest is 21 and he's in the Air Force. And then her daughter's no, he's 22 and then her daughter's 20. And then her son is 17, my son's 15, and then the son we had together 7. So
the other thing I got to ask,
yeah,
did you hit the Mega Millions, or did you tell them all, if you're going to college, you're on your own, you're paying for it yourself?
they're all on their own. And they're doing okay. But like the phone bill was like a mortgage payment. They all have to have iPhones, they all have iPads, and thank God the school hands out laptops these days, or we'd be I'd have a tent behind me, living in a tent. But it's still God provides. God provides. I mean, going through the ups and downs of the economy and transitioning through presidencies, we were able to just always provide and be provided for.
Yeah.
And I'm not rich by any means, but I'm rich with just the love of a family. So
on the inside, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not rich in bank account, but your life is very rich. And full disclosure, I was married, still wear my ring, divorced. My ex-wife and I never did get around to having kids. I always thought I'd have kids, but it just never happened. But as a Christian show, I do say, back 2,000 years ago, when there weren't as many people on the planet, the self-perpetuation of the species meant a little more. Today, if that's the only thought of a meaning to life is hopping out kids, then I'm sorry, I think then there's no real meaning to life. With or without kids, there's got to be more.
Right. There's way more. I mean, I'm a full believer we're meant to be love and light. And what better way to create disciples than with your own kids? That's where you start, right? It starts at home. And then you work your way outward from there.
Back to college, and hope the university professors don't totally destroy what you've raised.
Hopefully. I've the one son, kind of teetered the line with a little bit more left than I'd like to go, but you got to love him in his mess, right?
Well, what's the saying? If you're not a liberal when you're young, you've got no heart, and if you're not conservative when you're older, you've got no brain, right?
But you can't fix them or change them. You could just only influence and be love. That's all.
That's right. And back to the right, you've got no heart. It's always kind of said tongue in cheek and a bit of a joke, but I mean, the Bible itself says a wise man at his right hand, a fool at his left.
Yep.
That foretold 2,000 years ahead our political paradigm today.
It's that wisdom meant a lot more than what we thought.
Yeah, I mean, right. You may not have meant a whole lot at the time, but today you look at that and you thinkers versus emoters.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, I didn't necessarily plan on getting into politics in this episode again. 7 kids. I gotta talk to this guy. What? Yeah. What were you thinking? Right?
Well, I wasn't thinking procreate, but I was. I just had hot wives. No, I'm just. But no, it was.
Yeah, you are a male. You do like women, and you really like women based on 7 kids.
But it's community. I don't think people understand today. everybody's so self-centered, and everybody's so it's about me, 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 and becoming at the top of the ladder and independent, and the Bible was never about that. It was always about community. It was always about being together, not necessarily just a big family. I just like community as far as family, but community is what makes things happen. And community is where people grow together and go out. And when you're out for yourself and you only think of yourself, then that's really,
Yeah.
you're stepping on
Yeah.
everybody to get where you want to be. There's no love
Yeah.
and light there.
Yeah. CTP3, I have now 4 books in the series that correlate with the show Constitutionalist Politics. 3 here, hubris, the sin of hubris, and me, I'm entitled, you owe me, the victim mentality, what do I get and why didn't I get it yesterday? And in CTP4, I discussed Jesus Revolution 2. Hippies of the 60s and 70s, those that weren't the Bill Ayers and Bernadine Doran going on to become domestic terrorists, most of them eventually grew up and grew out of the me. There's got to be more than just me. And this show's all about biblical community. And indeed, we're going through a Jesus Revolution 2, as I call it now. A lot of people, especially our young generation now, are filling the churches more than the older people, discovering, hey, gotta be more to this than just me.
Right. You see that a lot. I mean, especially after, unfortunately, after Charlie Kirk, you're seeing a lot more people enter into the church. And even after the pandemic, always after a pandemic, you see church increase. And especially after this one, you see a lot of church increase because people have that same thought you just said. There's got to be more to this. I was just secluded and alone there, and I hated it. And I need community. I need people. There has to be more out there than this.
Yeah.
And that's why people are searching.
Human nature. We as humans are a sociable or meant to be sociable creature. And you either find faith in a legitimate religion or climate terrorism, as I call it, the cult of planet. Right? If you don't believe in something substantive, you'll fall for anything. The human need to belong to something. And you mentioned Kirk, right? Kirke in German, church. Coincidence? I don't think so. That's God in working. Bad things can happen to good people, and he turns them for good.
Yes. It's funny because I wrote a book called God's Imperfect Plan is Perfect. And it's exactly that. It's, we make bad choices to receive bad consequences all the time. And I understand that. But when you're in a situation to where my mother abandoned me at the age of 4, my father off and on alcoholic that loved me the way he
could have had the victimhood mentality. Woe is me. I'm entitled. I'm owed. Look at all this bad. I'm entitled to good now. And you overcame that self-absorption, to use your words. And indeed, right back to the Bible, we are all given free will. It's not all necessarily God's plan, but because we have free will, people could choose evil. But often God will then do things to try to work that then for his good. But yes, free will, we're given that, and we choose. We don't choose how people act towards us. And I go into that in the book of Kennedy, Project Carpe Diem. But we have the free will and the choice how we react to others, right? And everyone's entitled to a bad day. I'm not always nice, but Martin Luther King Jr. content of character, we're all entitled to bad days. Maybe that first interaction didn't go so well. That's where grace and second chances come in, right? But we choose to be good or bad most times, and putting out good, sowing good to get karma getting good back or putting out bad. And why would you be surprised when so much negative comes your way then?
Exactly. What I've learned with the kids, especially having 7 kids, is once I realized that to be light and love, I can't base my life off of circumstances because you're only as good as those circumstances are. So with the kids, it was like, if I'm putting expectations on them to be this certain person and they don't meet that, then I'm a wreck.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't base that love and light
Yeah.
on somebody
Yeah.
else to be something. So now it's like I'm, in this ministry I'm in now, it's like I just wake up to be love and light, and I don't put expectations on people. I didn't have a great father. He loved me the way he could, and he did a lot of great things. Don't get me wrong, but I don't sit on the phone every day waiting for him to go, you know what? I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what
We're
you did.
all
Yeah.
human, frail, flawed, and imperfect. No
Amen.
one on this planet but Jesus has walked this planet is perfect. We're all right. It's and like I go into the Book of Kennedy, Project Carpe Diem again. The song Meatloaf, "Life is a lemon and I want my money back."
Yes.
Either that attitude or there's lemons, make lemonade with it, right? It's
Yep.
attitude.
Yep. And I have a great relationship with my father now because I don't put any expectation on him. And if you could do that with everybody and just wake up to love everybody, then life's so much easier
Yeah.
than being wrecked for 4 days because somebody did something
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah, we're recording today, Wednesday, November the 19th. Not sure when this will air, but we're recording Wednesday, November the 19th. Dick Cheney's funeral, of course, all over
Yeah.
the news. So literally at beforeitsnews.com, wrote a piece entitled, "Can we please, for at least a few minutes, show some caring and compassion for fellow humans? Like him, love him, indifferent. I don't care. It's not about Cheney. Can we be compassionate? A family lost a family member. Friends lost a friend.
Yep.
Can we at least say thoughts and prayers to them? Nothing. Yeah, and I would say this about someone from the left. Also, can we put aside the hate and rancor and division for one damn minute and be humans?
Don't think you're going to see that too often.
No. Oh, I can't wait for the hate mail to start pouring in my social media today. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's sad. I it's so easy to fix, but so hard to fix.
Yeah. The Book of Kennedy, Project Carpe Diem. I mentioned I'm not trying to turn it into this all about me and my books, but I also have a short story, A Lasting Legacy, 2 of books in my life and living series. Indeed, are we at least trying to put out good and niceness? Or in the Book of Kennedy, I've used the term and I put it in there, massholes. The masses of asses, always miserable, always negative, always they want to share nothing but misery. They're miserable. They want you. Or are we at least trying to share smiles and niceties?
Yeah.
How difficult is that? This fallen world is so bad. Can't we? I hate to quote Rodney King because he was a major masshole and a criminal, and he brought upon. I'm sorry, he brought upon the beating if he wouldn't have tried to resist arrest. But can't we all just get along? I mean, that statement in itself stands alone, aside from the moron it came from.
Right. And it always brings me the story when Jesus cast out the demons, sent them into the pigs, and they jumped off into the lake. And everybody was, instead of joyous for the miracle he just provided for freeing this man, they were like freaked out and were like, "Hey, you need to leave here. You need to get out of here." So what did he do? He left. And that's what you have to do with people that are just full of hatred sometimes. They just don't want it, and you can fight as much as you want. Only God can change them. You can't. And sometimes you just have to leave
I have a
and
show on
just
that. I
leave them
don't
and
know
not
if,
fight them.
yeah, you so memes and memes too, right? Plant seeds, the smile, the facts here and there for those who won't deal in them, and let God water and fertilize them. Only God can really change hearts and minds. Our job to try to help, but it's God's place to really show them the light if they're able to be shown it or not. Right? Don't lose our place and God's place in this world. And indeed, oh, I forgot what I was going to say, where I was going, but yeah. Oh, the four kinds of love from the Bible I go into in the Book of Kennedy, right? Agape, philia, uh, eros, and story, right? Some people make it hard to want to love them. And it's like the ex-wife. Love her to death still, couldn't be under the same roof with her anymore, right?
Right.
It's some people make it hard to love them. It's best to just say, I'll love you from afar. Go over there.
Yeah.
Not let hate come in. Love's still there, but go over there, please. Anyway, thank you, Steve Rotermund, for coming on. I enjoyed our chat. If people want to reach out, do you have a website?
I do. It's walkrightministries.com.
Yeah, I remember that from the emails. Walk Right Ministries.
Yep.
I'm writing it down so I don't forget. We'll add it in on the scroll and post video for those things behind the screens. And another joke, I can never pass the link. Ministries. I don't have a ministry. I have a largestry.
I like it. I like it.
You
Dad
can
joke.
borrow, yeah, you
Yeah,
can
dad
borrow,
joke 101.
yeah, you can borrow that. Just remember where you heard it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you plugging in. Thank you for having me on. And those that are interested, I help people get unstuck.
Yeah. All right. Take care. God bless. Love you
God
all.
bless you. Love the conversation.
Wait. Hold on. Here's another of those tack on, add on segments, right? Uh, I want to apologize in a way when I invite guests on. It is not a pretense, or I don't sit around plotting, oh, I can have this guest on, and I know that then I will have 12 opportunities to sneak in references regarding my books. That's not how this goes. That's not my intention. I apologize for all the mentions about my books, but they came up because Steve and I were on the same page. Yeah, writing books, pun intended, in that case, right? And Steve said things that triggered me in a good way, not the leftist, emotional, hysterical snowflake kind of stuff. Oh, I'm so offended and upset. Oh, I'm going to throw a tantrum. No, right. Triggered as in thought, as in, ooh, what you just said. I agree with so much. And indeed, in this book or that book or whatever book, I'm mentioning what's in there by way of not just, ooh, great, another chance to throw in one of my book titles again. No, the point being is, yes, agree. I keep trying to talk about it all the time, not just on this show, but indeed in my books, and indeed, right? You, Loving someone from the 4 types of love, as I mentioned, and indeed, some people make it hard to want to love them. And as Christians, we sure don't want to hate. We want to love even our enemies, right? But loving someone doesn't necessarily mean being able to put up with them all the time, right? I love you to death, but from afar, I love you from afar. So I just wanted to tack this on. I don't plot and plan every episode. Ooh, how can I sneak more references to my books in these episodes? No, not the point, not the intention. And I apologize that sometimes some of these episodes kind of go that way. But the point being is, yes, me, the guest, you, a lot of times have these similar thoughts, and I'm just trying to express them either on this show and or via, yes, my writings. And I'm eager to share them, not from a sense of hubris. Oh, yeah, ooh, whatever. You said it, I said it better, and blah, 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 blah. No, 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 no. No, not the point. Not what I'm trying to do there, but it's a way of complimenting the guest in a way. And yeah, oh, I'm so glad you've gone there. I've gone there in this book or that book and this quote from it or that quote. Absolutely. We are on, again, pun intended, the same page. All right. Anyway, apologies. Just, my intent, I don't want to be misread. Ooh, there's another writing pun, huh? Oh, I felt it necessary to tack this on. Thank you all. Take care. God bless. Love you all. Like and subscribe to Constitutionalist Politics Podcast and share episodes. We need your help. Thank you for having tuned into another Constitutionalist Podcast show. I really appreciate that you stopped by. Again, please like, share, subscribe. We need you to help spread the Constitutionalist movement. Thank you again. Take care. God bless. Love you all.